So I get this question a lot. What's a Gen X? We're nothing special. Just the coolest generation that ever lived, if you ask me. Born between the years of 1965 and 1980. Yes, the 80s were our playground. But beyond that, we're the latchkey kids. And if you don't know what a latchkey kid is, just imagine your parents putting a key around your neck at the age of 6 or 7 so you can let yourself in after school because there aren't any daycares and nobody's home. We had chores to do and we had to make our own dinner. Sometimes just out of a couple slices of white bread and some ketchup, maybe a bowl of cereal. And we put ourselves to bed. But not until we'd spent hours on the phone talking to our friends and digesting copious amounts of inappropriate television and music entertainment. All without adult supervision. We got ourselves up in the morning and got ready for school. And then we ventured out into the world alone. We're basically the equivalent of your parents dropping you off in the middle of the woods with a butterfly knife and a pack of matches and you somehow come out building a Starbucks. Yeah, we may not be very special, but we are definitely survivors. We're resilient as fuck, we got a wicked sense of sarcastic humor, and we don't care about much. Oh, and we're totally okay being alone. We actually kind of like it that way. It's when we're at our best.
Y'all, I really want to talk about a subject that is not talked about a lot. And the Gen X generation gonna be real hot with me, but I really want to talk about the millennials who are doing the best they can without real grandmothers. And by the way, when I say Gen X, though, that's like whoever was born in 1968 to 1980. You know, back in the day, when I used to play outside when I was a kid, I had friends who would always be at their grandmama and their auntie house. Now, my mother is not part of the Gen X generation. My mom was born in the 50s, right? So when I would go outside, I used to ask my friends, like, dang, you been at your grandma's house for a real long time. Dang, you been at your auntie house for about a real long time. Where's your mom? Like, you know, did you talk to her? Is she okay? Because you've been here for about 14 days. I mean, you would have literally thought that I worked for child services at a young age because I had questions that needed answers because my mama didn't play that shit. She didn't believe in leaving me at her mama's house for umpteen days or her sister's house for umpteen days during school days and never returning until like the 14th day. Like, my mama did not play none of that. And it's sad to me how millennials, you know, when it's time for them to live their life, you know, if they want to go out for a weekend, hey, mama, can you watch my baby for me? A lot of y'all in the Gen X generation, you won't even look out for them. And the sad part to me, Gen X will be like, oh, I don't got time for all of that. I done raised y'all. I want to live my life. Baby, it's 365 days in a year. Your children or your child been at your grandma's house back in the day, 364. So I'm trying to figure out, who in the hell did you really raise? Some of y'all kids was at your sister house, your mama house, your great-great-grandma house. I mean, Gen X, a lot of y'all had a whole damn village when it came to y'all children. And you can't come through for yours? Now it's y'all turns to be the grandmama. It's now y'all turns to be the aunties. And it's so sad. Everybody looked out for y'all. But now it's your turn and you can't do nothing? And then you say, oh, I want to live my life. Oh, I want to live my life. Baby, what did you miss in your prime? Y'all was at the clubs 24/7. And let's not even talk about Freaknik, baby. You went every fucking year. Now your sister needs some help. Now your brother needs some help with, hey, sis, can you watch my son for me? Can you watch my daughter for me for like an hour? Ooh, an hour? An hour? Little Miss Unfit, an hour too much for you? Not the same bitch who left your child at your mama house sitting up here talking about, oh, I'm going to the club. I'm gonna be back at 9. I'm gonna be back at 9. Your mama had just told you she barely got food in the house, and you literally picking up your child, which was the millennial child. You picking up your baby Sunday evening. You can't sit up here and look out for your niece, your sister when it come down to your niece and nephew, but your children stayed at your sister's and your brother's house. Now it's your turn and you can't do nothing? And some of y'all was hella trifling, baby. Y'all would drop y'all kids off, walk off with your purse, and didn't even ask. And the sad part is nowadays the millennials really can't even ask you because they know what you was about. They know what you about. Millennials don't even pull out half the shit y'all pulled off back in the late 80s and early 90s and 2000s, baby. Come on now. Because they know what type of person you are. And what gets me is about Gen X. A lot of y'all, not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all will literally sit up there and be like, you know, the reason why my child or the children, the way they are today, the reason why they're so independent is because of me. Are they the reason why they are today because you taught them that, or because they didn't have a choice? Because there is a difference between teaching your child to be independent and because they didn't have a choice. So which one is it? Because the millennials I went to school with, the ones that I played with, they raised themselves while you went and go fucked off. They raised themselves when you were still at that nigga house who still don't want you to this day. They raised themselves when y'all stayed at the club. They raised themselves when y'all spent the whole week at Freaknik. They raised themselves. And it's so sad, y'all sorry asses can't come through for nobody. And the sad part is, when it comes to your millennial child, her daddy already sorry. You picked her daddy, and then you gonna turn around and be a sorry-ass mother and turn around and be a sorry-ass grandmama and a sorry-ass auntie. I mean, sometimes I look at, not all of y'all, but sometimes I look at the Gen X generation like a damn platypus. I mean, God just be making anything, because at this point, what are you good for? What are you good for? So my advice to my millennials, baby, continue to do the best you can. That's all you can, sis. That's all you can do, sis. That's all you can do, bro, is do the best you can. Because at this point, baby, I mean, you've been making it as far as we all can remember. You the one that's been raising. If you the oldest, baby, we all know you've been the one raising your damn siblings, all of them. Early one of them. Baby, we all know you the one who had to fend for yourself. Do the best you can. And just, instead of arguing with your mama, and started arguing with your daddy, accept them for who they are and just keep trucking and just do the best you can. When your child start asking questions about, you know, why my grandma don't come around, why every time I look around, grandma won't let me come over, what's going on, don't dog her out. Do not dog her out. She will see when she get of age. She will see when she get of age. Just keep trucking and handle your business. Period.
Let's talk a little bit about Generation X. The generation so terrifying they couldn't even give it a fucking name. So Gen Xers were raised in a very interesting period of time. They were raised by baby boomers, so they knew a very older and maybe kind of feral way to exist and live their life. But then they were also old enough, so when the internet and a lot of new technology started coming out, they also knew a lot more. So they had this kind of ability to cherry pick the best traits of baby boomers and millennials, which makes them some of the most dangerous fucking people in the world. Most of the Gen Xers I knew either went to the military, went to rehab, or went to jail. That means the ones that are left are fucking survivors. So for as many changes in music and style and culture that you think you've been through, in the last 50 years, they've been through the most. Also, mental illness wasn't trendy back then. So any kind of mental illness that they had, they usually didn't get any treatment for it. So they had to learn how to cope with it themselves. Medications weren't as delicate or as effective back then. And that leaves you with some very fucking interesting people. Get yourself a Gen X friend, but they'll probably just tell you to
Didn't go to recess to have fun. We went because we know it was time for war. Playground safety? Shit. Our playgrounds was the fucking Hunger Games. You couldn't go back inside until you made a blood sacrifice. Pickleball? We had tetherball. A concrete death pole with a wrecking ball on the chain. Missed that bitch one time. It's coming back around like a boomerang at Mach 5. You ain't dodging it. So what did the ball say to the face? Smack. Now your lips are swole up and you look like JJ on Good Time. Then we had dodgeball. Oh, not this foam soft shit they got now. I'm talking about that red rubber demon. Felt like a deflated car tire. We didn't play to win, we played to hurt. This wasn't a game, this was war. And when you got hit, the whole class cheered like it was WWE. I'm bleeding internally. Then we had Red Rover. Red Rover wasn't a game, it was organized child-on-child violence. We linked arms like an organized prison gang and dared your punk ass to run through. And if you do, we clothesline your soul into orbit. Kids got folded. Teacher went flying. Teacher just said, oh, it builds teamwork. Teamwork. We out here committing friendly war crimes in Adidas. Just understand, Gen X is the reason why warning labels exist. Hell, we ain't reading them warning labels either. If you die, you die.
Where my Gen Xers at? Baby, where are my Gen Xers at? Where are my people at that's been adulting since elementary school? Y'all know what I mean, honey. We used to get all the kids, siblings, home from school, get homework done, get chores done, make sure the dinner was cooked, okay? Or at least the meat was taken out so mama could come home and cook immediately if we didn't know how to cook or she didn't want us to turn that stove on, depending on how old we were. I'm just saying, we at the point in our lives where we don't care. We do not care. Don't bother us. We're not going to bother y'all. We just want to live, have a good time, maybe go on a couple of vacations a year. You know what I'm saying? That's all we want to do, okay? That we earn that right. Where my Gen Xers at? Okay, honey? Y'all need to get this hoodie. Baby, the link is going to be right there below, okay? I'm linking it because we need to be out here twinning. Anyways, I'm going to talk to y'all later. Bye.
Gen X, these people just don't know what they've done. You've woken up Gen X. I mean, you just don't understand what you've done. Gen X, their first lesson in science was to take a magnifying glass and angle it just so the sun comes through it and torch live bugs. Burn them to death. These people literally spent their childhood beating the shit out of each other just to be best friends for life after. I mean, pain doesn't exist for these people. They would play tackle football in the middle of the street on the concrete and then yell car when a car was coming. I mean, while kids today are eating sour candy as a challenge, Gen X literally impressed girls by putting cigarettes out on their tongue. They would literally take a lighter and heat up the metal on the top of a lighter and then turn it upside down and burn their skin just because they wanted a smiley face tattoo. I mean, you're talking about a whole generation of people that rode around in cigarette smoke-filled cars with no seatbelts, let alone airbags. These people grew up being borderline tortured. When they got in trouble, their parents would send them outside to pick a switch, a long, skinny stick that was flexible enough to cut through the air and cut flesh. If they did not pick a suitable switch, they were made to go get another one, and it just got worse. And then, if they ever hurt themselves and fell off their bike and scraped their knee or whatever, they would wear these wounds like badges of honor. And even though we hurt ourselves, we would then go inside to see our parents, and they would pour peroxide on that shit. It would bubble and sizzle and turn all red. We wore that shit like badges of honor. Gen X was wild. We would have 4th of July. We would shoot Roman candles at each other, bottle rockets and shit. While y'all are standing 30 and 40 feet back from whoever setting the fireworks off, we were in the middle of that shit, usually turning it upside down and shooting it at our friends. I mean, Gen X has cheated death our entire lives. All we wanted to do was sleep and rest. And you goofy bastards have made it absurd enough to live on this rock that we are coming out of retirement just to burn this bitch down to spite you, and then hopefully we can go back to sleep. If not, we'll stay awake and we'll just keep the fire going, because Gen X don't quit. Y'all gonna learn one of these days.
Hi. I've been seeing people talking a lot about Gen X and thinking we've been let off the hook, or where are we? Or some people saying, you know, we're just now coming in and don't wait. Who's waking us up? And what does that mean? What does Gen X bring to the table? Here's some of my thoughts. Whew, let's see if I can get this. We're Gen X, your parents, your teachers, mentors, and leaders. Even though some have been your tormentors, abusers, and traitors, and I'm sorry for those who wronged you. We, Gen X, are the children who came from the boomers. Our grandparents were the silenced ones. We were left on our own and raised ourselves and our siblings in childhood with no cable TV, internet, or cell phones. We were alienated and lived in fear, never knowing so many others were too. We're Gen X and paved the way for those after us to be free to love and live a better life with diversity and inclusivity. Oh, because we, Gen X, lived in constant fear of war. The Cold War instilled a fear of nuclear war taking our lives. We, the Just Say No generation, we were the stay in the closet generation. AIDS was our death sentence for being queer. We were told God was punishing us because of who we loved. You wonder why we have not done anything, but don't you see? We raised you to stand proud and fight back. We have given you a voice, the space and technology we never had to unite. Gen X hasn't been sleeping. No, we are proud of our children and grandchildren. We didn't silence you when you stood up to the boomers, our parents. No, we were silently observing, letting you take the lead. But we're here. And we're no longer outnumbered by our oppressors because you, the millennials, Gen Z, and Alpha are here. Remember this. We're Gen X, we've been here. We might handle things a little differently, but we've always just wanted the best for you. My wife's a Zennial, my son's Gen Z, and my daughter's in Gen Alpha. And I just wanted my kids to not live in the fear that I lived. They don't need to live in the closet. Wow, I think of Matthew Shepard and what he went through and how we had to just live in fear that this could happen to us. And if you don't know who Matthew Shepard is, just Google him. You will see the torture, the pain, and suffering a young man who is gay went through. And those who did this to him tried to say the panic defense. When they found out he was gay, they got scared, and so therefore had to kill him. People didn't have rights. People of color, Black, African Americans, they didn't have the freedom until just recently. You don't realize that we have lived through so much. And it scares us. We lived in a scary time, and fear was oppressive. It oppressed us. I don't want you living in fear. And I laugh now because I realize the boomers have lived so long and been able to have so much power because of technology that has kept them living and thriving and enjoying life, taking away from others, oppressing them. They don't see what they've done. Not all boomers are like that. But they have for so long outnumbered us. But not anymore. Not anymore.
So I just have like a general question I've been pondering for a few days. where's Generation X? Like, what are you guys doing? If you guys were in political positions and like helping us at all, I think things would be better. I'm pretty sure you guys are just like paying your kids or paying for everything for your high school students like straight into college and not making them work any jobs and really messing up our economy by letting the boomers continue to run everything. I kind of blame you guys. Like, you know how the internet works. You know how to Google. I'm trying to figure out where you guys are and what you're doing. Just curious.
A skating rink. You were dropped off there. You paid your own admission. You spent hours going in circles. Popcorn was your dinner. We could absolutely not wait till the first couple skate. Is there anything better than the feeling of no parents, music blaring, and surrounded by your friends? Whether you were there for first skate, late skate, or a lock-in, finding a ride home seemed to be the nightly routine for so many people. Gen X wasn't hard to find. Just had to know where to look.
Who let Gen X off the hook? Why are we talking shit about those guys?
Hello, 51-year-old Gen X here. Thank you for your questions and acknowledging the fact that we actually exist. To answer your initial question, if you saw a bear walking around the streets or in the woods minding its own business, would you keep on walking or would you approach it to fuck around and find out? Most people don't talk shit about us because they forgot that we even exist. I mean, we are called the forgotten generation for a reason. Our numbers are much smaller than the boomers and millennials, so we're the middle child stuck in between both of them. Sarcasm is also one of our love languages, so even if someone were to talk shit about us, chances are we didn't give enough of a fuck to take it seriously.
They were teenagers in the 80s.
False statement. We were forced to become teenagers and adults between the ages of 7 and 9. We were latchkey kids. We were left at home all the time by our parents to fend for ourselves or our siblings once we got old enough to form complete sentences. And if we weren't home alone by ourselves, we were either out in the streets or the woods, drinking out of warm garden hoses, water sliding in our front yards, or going up the street to our local a tetanus shot waiting to happen type playground, whether it's spinning around the merry-go-round of doom or going down a hot metal slide during the summer, or simply just hang out with our friends in the streets, sometimes on our BMX bikes, our big wheels, or the bicycles with the tassels on the handlebars with the basket in front where sometimes we'd place our younger siblings in. Just imagine constantly being in survival mode and being told by your parents to either walk it off or rub some dirt in it whenever you got hurt. We were able to do all of that and still make it home before the streetlights turned on.
They had the coolest music.
100% agree with you. And this is not me being biased, being that I grew up in the 70s and the 80s and got to experience all of this stuff, but rather based on facts. To back this up, let's look at some 80s trends currently making a comeback. Let's start with some 1980s movie remakes such as Ghostbusters, Firestarter, Dune, Footloose, Carrie, just to name a few. And can we all agree that Cobra Kai is one of the best TV series based on a movie that we've seen in recent years? And let's not forget about Stranger Things. Next up, 80s fashion, bell-bottom jeans, big bangle bracelets, acid-washed anything, leg warmers, big bright neon colors, fanny packs, I can keep going. Our music became classical rock and is now featured in grocery stores worldwide. You want to know the best way to spot a Gen Xer in the wild? Go to your local grocery store, and if they're playing any 80s music track, look for that one individual that's lip-syncing the entire song under their breath or dancing with their cart by themselves in the frozen food section.
Where are those motherfuckers now?
Based on the overwhelming response that your video received, I think it's safe to say that we've always been here. Just sitting here drinking our coffee and watching the shit show. So yeah, you can go ahead and try to talk shit about Gen X, but chances are we're just gonna look at you and say, I don't even give a fuck. Whatever.
Let's talk a little bit about Generation X. The generation so terrifying they couldn't even give it a fucking name. So Gen Xers were raised in a very interesting period of time. They were raised by baby boomers, so they knew a very older and maybe kind of feral way to exist and live their life. But then they were also old enough, so when the internet and a lot of new technology started coming out, they also knew a lot more. So they had this kind of ability to cherry pick the best traits of baby boomers and millennials, which makes them some of the most dangerous fucking people in the world. Most of the Gen Xers I knew either went to the military, went to rehab, or went to jail. That means the ones that are left are fucking survivors. So for as many changes in music and style and culture that you think you've been through, in the last 50 years, they've been through the most. Also, mental illness wasn't trendy back then. So any kind of mental illness that they had, they usually didn't get any treatment for it. So they had to learn how to cope with it themselves. Medications weren't as delicate or as effective back then. And that leaves you with some very fucking interesting people. Get yourself a Gen X friend, but they'll probably just tell you to fuck off.
Hey y'all, hey, how y'all doing? Listen, I have been down the rabbit hole. I saw a video early today and it just made me chuckle. So I went down the rabbit hole and was watching all the stitches of the young lady saying, where is Gen X? Because there was a video saying you can't just show up at a boomer's house with just liquor anymore and expect to eat. And so now everybody's asking, well, where Gen X at? Because they the next one, and all the Gen Xers are in the comment section. No, baby. How many of us were sitting at our grandmother's knee, cutting potatoes, onions, and everything, all of it? We've been cooking since we were little kids. That's where we started. Baby, we're not throwing them barbecues. We already know how much work it is. We're not throwing them. If we throw something, you may see a couple folks there, but it's going to be potluck style because we know who makes what the best, and we make sure to not divert. But them big shindigs, we don't get somebody else to do it. And for the millennials, y'all in y'all 30s now, baby, y'all should know how to make the same things. We out here, Gen X out here living their best life. We traveling, we moisturizing, and we in therapy. Okay, we not trying to see who trying to eat something. No, baby, we went on ahead. We learned. We don't like going to them gatherings. No way. But if y'all see the video, please go watch it, because when I tell you, they are in the comment section looking for Gen X. Like every 3 to 5 days I get on this app and it's like, well, where is Gen X? It's like they tried to forget us before, and now all of a sudden you want to talk to us about what? What you talking about? That gave me a laugh. But yeah, I've peeled enough potatoes. I'm good.
I have a question.
Yo, sound the bell. School is in, sucker.
Where is Gen X?
Like, how do you mean? Do you need help? Because us Gen Xers are kind of a choice of last resort. I mean, don't get me wrong, we get the job done, but we're notoriously hard to find. It's kind of like this.
If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire
Gen X.
Was that it?
I see headlines all the time about like how boomers are ruining everything for millennials. Gen Alpha is on the phones so much. Where is Gen X in all this?
Oh, that kind of stuff? Yeah, no. The Generational Geneva Convention pretty much outlawed us getting involved in intergenerational warfare. You see, they found it unfair that our unique level of sarcasm made it nearly impossible for other generations to understand that they've been savagely insulted until they're about 7 miles down the road. So yeah, if you need help and you can find us, we're here for you. But other than that, we'll just be sitting back watching the show. And visibly unseen as always.
Is Gen X okay? No, seriously, are you guys okay?
What kind of stupid fucking question is that? We're fine. It's 2023. This shit is a cakewalk. We got like 900 TV channels and Prozac. Our kids are grown or almost grown, and our parents are either dead or too old to threaten to kill us every day. I brought you into this world. I could take you out of it. Our boomer parents could turn anything violent. Hey, Dad, can I get a paper towel? I'll paper your towel. We didn't have anti-bullying campaigns. Our parents bullied us. If we got hurt, like really hurt, our parents were pissed. Our parents would leave us places all the time. They'd forget us at the store, and there's no way to get a hold of them. So you just have to sit there and hope they came back for you. The school had to take our pictures and fingerprint us in case we got kidnapped. We were like 30 years old when we were 12. Already smoking cigarettes, drinking our parents' liquor. We are older than Google. We spent 30 years taking a dump without a cell phone, and no one had to tell us not to eat fucking laundry detergent. So yeah, I mean, we're okay. We're okay.
Have y'all noticed that Gen X has just disappeared in the abyss? Like, what are they doing? Are they working jobs? Like, because they're not doing barbecues. They're not doing family events. They're not watching the grandkids. Like, what are they doing?
Madam, you've highlighted some great points on the ways in which you think that Gen X has failed you. So on behalf of an entire generation, allow me to sarcastically apologize. But you see, we've been doing all of those things for far too long, and we're still doing those today. Yes, we've been taking care of the house, cleaning, cooking before our parents got home, only to be sent to our rooms for God knows what. We've been taking care of the lawns on the weekends, and for most of us, we were working full-time jobs by the time we were teenagers. We're still doing that today because, well, we have to take care of our elderly boomer parents before they move on to Valhalla. And we're still probably paying bills for you. And honestly, we're quite tired of it. And some of us are transitioning into that period where we're just going to sit in the sun for a little while before we make our own journey to Valhalla. And honestly, it's your turn to take over this earth. It's no longer our responsibility to raise your children, to do those things, work those jobs, pay your bills. It's no longer our journey. It's yours. The quicker you realize it, the better off you'll be. One more point of advice. might I recommend that you check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you see, poking the Gen X bear is not a good idea. And while we are for the most part quiet and calm, we are a ferocious tiger that when poked, we're probably going to rip your arms off and beat you with it. So please, next time, restrain from saying that Gen X is not doing something, because I promise you, if you were to look in the mirror, you'd realize that it's not our job to do it.
If you ain't Gen X, keep scrolling. If you are Gen X, let me get 60 seconds of your time. I just saw a video of a Gen Z TikToker talking shit about Gen X. Talking about how he tired of seeing Gen X videos and we need to go back to Facebook. First off, little boy, Gen X is running TikTok. I wasn't tripping on that. Know what I was tripping on? 1.1 million likes. Oh, 1 million of y'all think like that? Okay. So I said, I'm a Gen X content creator. We'll come catch that 1.1. Yeah. We'll come catch that 1.1 million. I don't know if I bit off more than I can chew, but I believe in my Gen X family. Know what he said? Keep on yapping, OG. Send me the laughing emoji with the Gen X and a garbage can. I get paid for this video. I'll break y'all off a couple of dollars. I just want to win. Ain't no second place. Y'all know our motto. If you ain't first, you last. So run it up. Like and share this video and drop a comment with something about Gen X. Gen X with the muscle sign. Gen X, the greatest generation. Gen X rules, something of that nature. And let's show these youngsters we all up in here.
Y'all notice that Gen X is just disappeared in the abyss? Like, what are they doing? Are they working jobs? Like, because they're not doing barbecues. They're not doing family events. They're not watching the grandkids. Like, what are they doing? And I feel like the millennials, us, just have to pick up the motherfucking slack. Like, baby, it's a whole group of people that are not participating in society. And I don't like that.
By abyss, do you mean out the way? Because that's where we stay. We stay out the way. We stay out the way because society no longer allows us to speak our minds, and definitely snatching knots in people's asses to get their attention is frowned upon. So we just stay out the way and we watch y'all piddle around over there in your safe spaces. It's an equal form of entertainment and aggravation. That's what we do. Are we working jobs? Well, damn right we are. We damn, and guess what? We're gonna be working them longer than any other generation. We're gonna be working till we goddamn drop dead. That's what it ain't no retirement age. They're gonna drag our body out the cubicle and they're gonna put us right into the casket and have a funeral that same day. That's how long we're gonna work, because we have to. Barbecue and family events, How the hell you gonna have a barbecue and invite some people over, but the people you inviting over, they already stay there? Because y'all don't never leave the house. You don't never leave the damn house. You here with me every day at barbecue. Every day, we having a lackadaisical luau every damn day. Ain't nobody gonna throw no cookout for roommates. How about you throw us a cookout? How about you throw us a tenant appreciation cookout? Not watching the grandkids. Are you serious? I see the grandkids every day because they here with you. All y'all stay here. I can see them, but I ain't gonna watch them. I see them all the time out of my peripherals. The hell I'm gonna watch somebody for, and their parents right here. And then I'm sponsoring everything. I'm not gonna watch them too. Pick up the slack. Well, when? Because according to the United States Census and the Chamber of Commerce for most of the states, millennials hold the highest percentage of unemployed people of all the generations. But the needs is still there. They begging people to go to trade schools. They are begging and pleading people to go into trade fields. All kind of incentive programs starting in high school to steer people toward trade systems. You don't want to do that because that's hard. The data shows that when you get a job, you only stay there 2.5 years, if that. So you don't stay that long enough to build a rapport, and then you quit or get fired, so now you can't use them as no reference. And so now when you go to the next job, you ain't got no job history. I don't know why they ain't hired. I put the nigga, because don't nobody know you. You a 29-year-old teenager, and don't nobody know you. They got to be able to call somebody and say, well, how was he? How was he? How was she? And I'm not talking to all millennials. I'm talking to the ones I'm talking to. Well, so when you wonder where we at work. That's what we doing. We at work, taking up the slack. We taking up the slack. Because every 2.5 years, one of y'all quit over a mental health concern. This job makes me sad. Motherfucker, work don't make nobody happy. I don't know if you heard. Getting up going to work is not a joyous occasion. If we could avoid it, we would. But we don't have the luxury. But y'all had the luxury to get on TikTok and inquire about our whereabouts.
Bro, where's Gen X?
What?
Oh, I didn't even notice you there.
Per usual.
Where have you been?
Minding my business.
Well, we gotta have words.
Oh, do you actually know how to use them in real life?
Oh? Y'all been too quiet.
Y'all been too loud.
Because we're trying to change the world.
And we're just trying to survive it.
Listen. No, you listen, you Cabbage Patch Killjoy.
Oh, yes.
We were raised on hose water and neglect, TV dinners and dial-up. We're sarcastic cynics who didn't talk about trauma. We just stuffed it down and sucked it up.
Well, maybe.
You shouldn't come for the latchkey kids who grew up with grass stains, told time by the street light, and were built by around and find out.
This is great.
So if you're coming for us, Stranger Things, you better come correct, because we're just here to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
What?
And we're all
out
of
of bubblegum. Literal chills.
Shut up! Now leave me the hell alone.
Why are you scared of him?
Because the quiet ones are killers.
You're Delulu. And you owe me a popcorn.
God, you guys are so cringy.
Up until the age of like 35. Stop scrolling right now.
What? Okay. Let me tell y'all why it's not those kids' fault that they feel like that. Gen X, it's our fault. We did that. They didn't do that. They have the right to feel that way because we made them feel as though they were entitled to everything and did not have to earn anything. They don't understand that when they come out their mouth and say stuff like, we didn't ask to be here, bitch, we didn't either. What we did was we was out fucking and we fucked up on you. We wasn't fucking to make you. I just want you to understand that. I want you to know that. It's very few of y'all out here that was made on purpose. You was a oops baby. Most of y'all are oops baby. We was doing dumb shit. Let's just be clear on that. But once you got here, we did the best that we could to provide in the best way we could for you. Y'all was running around here going to proms in Bugattis, $1,000 made dresses. We was going to Sears and happy if somebody rented us a Diamante for the day. Y'all are running around here with birthday parties that cost more than some of your parents' rent or mortgage. Handmade dresses, 40-inch bundles. You're not paying for that. Not really, because y'all ain't got that kind of money. A lot of y'all, when you graduate out of high school, are getting brand new cars. Not college, high school. We done set the bar so low for you that now when you feel like you have to do anything above that bar, you're complaining about it because we made you feel entitled. Y'all are entitled. A lot of y'all are not running around here thinking of how good you got it. At a lot of y'all age, on Saturday mornings, we was getting up washing baseboards and cleaning out cabinets and washing clothes and hanging them up outside on the clothesline, taking them down after they dry, folding them up. 12 o'clock, you was outside, you had to play, you had to find something to do because you was not going to be in that house running around all day long. We didn't do that. Y'all came up in air conditioning. We were treating y'all as though y'all were porcelain baby dolls. And now y'all get of some size and start to work and you're watching your mothers struggle, or fathers singly struggle. Instead of you saying, well, let me do a little something and offer to help my parents, you go get a $400 nail set. Yeah, I understand. It's your money. You do what you want to do. But you've been struggling with your mom all this time. So when I hear y'all say shit like, you've been paying the bills for the last 18 years just fine. Who the fuck told you that? You was here watching us fucking struggle and knowing at times we didn't even have food on the fucking table. So to watch y'all and say the things that you're saying is a slap in the fucking face. You was watching your parents struggle and go out their way to get things for you. How dare you?
Many Gen X grew up and had children vowing not to raise their children the same way that their parents raised them. Because, truth be told, there was some things that happened to the majority of us Gen Xers. And some people will probably consider even child abuse, okay? My name's Larissa. I am Gen X, and I am living my best life. Thank you for coming. Subscribe, and go ahead and hit that like button. And let's go on and get back into it, okay? Many of us grew up poor. That's just the way it is. So we said, you know what? I ain't gonna do that to my children, right? So they went on and they had children. Now they call them the millennials, okay? And there's a lot of millennials that's really resentful against Gen X, not understanding how Gen X were raised and why they are the way that they are. Many of them stuff their emotions, may even seem emotionally unavailable, but that's not true. We have a lot of love inside of us. The problem is it was stifled. So many of us do not really know how to communicate this thing called love.
The 90s belong to us. No, they don't. Hey Arnold, all that. Nickelodeon in general. All us.
So, kid shows?
And MTV. MTV was us. Are you high? TRL, Cribs, Pimp My Ride, The Osbournes. All 2000s. Real World, Daria, Celebrity Deathmatch, Beavis and Butthead, Yo MTV Raps. All Gen X royalty. Well, Clueless, that's a millennial movie. As if. Mean Girls is yours. Clueless is ours.
Ugh, that's so fetch.
Stop trying to make fetch head. Gotcha. Well, Snoop and Tupac are us. Are you crazy, bro? You weren't the only people alive in the 90s, dude.
You know, I was actually born in the 90s. So...
Oh, shut the up. You were a baby. I don't know what makes you think you know so you were born is going on. That doesn't mean anything. You weren't even conscious for that notes out of faking. You were getting it.
We're basically the teenagers of the adult world, okay?
Well, hello there. Big Sister Gen X reporting for duty. Let's get something straight. You guys are in the preteen phase of adulthood. We're the teenagers. We submitted our applications, but they haven't been accepted yet. And I'm not sure they ever will be. We didn't have any YouTube tutorials to teach us anything. You guys at least had Google and smartphones to guide you a little bit. But us, we were DIY before that shit was even cool. We've been living on a prayer since the 80s. Pioneers of the blind leading the blind. Toys R Us told us that we didn't have to grow up, and we took that jingle very seriously. We're just big kids with bills to pay and responsibilities we don't want. Just like you. We have learned that there's no such thing as grown-ups. That was a lie. We're all just winging that shit. So for all you millennials out there lost in this giant sea called adulthood, just know you're not alone. We're right there with you. Just stumbling our way through this shit show called adulthood. We're all floating in the same boat, paddling with one oar and a rubber ducky for a life vest. So just keep swimming. It's okay to not have it all figured out. So just enjoy the ride.
Can y'all imagine what it would have looked like if Gen X had TikTok in the 80s? Man, our whole feed would have been welcome to shit you shouldn't survive. I'm talking quality footage of us doing the dumbest shit humanly possible. We ain't doing no TikTok challenge. We was the challenge. As soon as you open up the app, you see somebody riding a BMX bike off a Burger King roof on a dare. We wouldn't have followers. We would have evidence. We'd all be in jail. Viral legends or both. We'd be the reason the internet got shut down every damn week. Everybody would have had a video of when you found out you could make a flamethrower out of a lighter and Aquanet. It wouldn't be Facebook. It'll be felony book. We'd all be on America's Most Wanted or World Star. You think we needed an audience? Hell no. We had Mountain Dew and emotional issues. We had zero fear and negative supervision. Today they called it trauma. It wasn't trauma for us. Trauma for us was waiting 8 hours to record your favorite song off the radio and still miss the beginning because the DJ wouldn't shut the fuck up. So a toast to the 80s. No phones, no filter, just bad decisions and legendary stories that nobody can prove. Now they got streaming and I had to wait 3 damn weeks just to record Purple Rain and shit. Let me tell you this. One thing you can't do is try to make a Gen Xer do something. It ain't gonna go well for you. Understand. You're gonna get cussed out in the best way we know how. And here's why. We've been grown since we were 6. We got one set of instructions that governed our whole life. And it went a little something like this. Put this key to the house around your neck. Don't lose it. Cause if you do, I'ma whoop your ass. When you get out of school, let yourself in. Lock the door. And don't open it for nobody. Cause if you do, I'ma whoop your ass. Fix yourself something to eat. And don't burn my house down. Cause if you do, I'ma whoop your ass. There's a blank check on my dresser. I want you to fill it out for Sears Roebuck for $67.17. Take that check, put it in an envelope, and go mail it. Don't lose that check, cause if you do, I'ma whoop your ass. We done did everything from buying cigarettes and alcohol with a note at 8 to driving your drunk ass uncle home sitting on some phone books at 11. Maybe that was just my uncle. Bottom line, we Gen X. Born 30, still 30, and gonna die 30. So don't try to make us do something. Bust your motherfucking head, that's what we'll do. We'll do that.